right, let's move on, man, to your neighbours then. Arsenal. Obviously, they played their 6-pointer for the relegation battle, which was eventually won by Arsenal after a lucky Aubameyang goal. Muchen, bro. You, Tabs, and Munya were in the building. How was the atmosphere and the game?
Generally, the atmosphere before the game, was walking through the ground, and atmosphere was really good. That's the first time I've been Emirates, and I've seen that sort of atmosphere for a game like that. Anyway, for a game like where you're not up against, it's one of the top teams. So I generally thought, the stadium was going to be buzzing, and the team was going to be buzzing, and we were going to wipe the floor with this team, and it was going to be a 5-goal thriller. First 10 minutes, it did actually seem like that because we started off very, very well. And then after that, it just became stale. The problem Arsenal have got at the moment is that we pass the ball well at the back. We pass the ball decent in midfield. Then once we get into that final third, we seem lost. We just don't know what to do with the ball. So that was the problem. We actually had about 30 shots, which is the first time we've had 30 shots in a game since 2018.
Okay,
so that's promising in a way, yeah. But 30 shots and only 1 goal isn't good enough, especially against a team like Norwich. But we can't complain because obviously we haven't been scoring for the last 2 games. So at least we actually got a goal this time. It did come very, very late, and it was a very fluke goal, to be honest. Pepe dribbled past, who he's a problem at his best, but sometimes he's a frustrating player to watch. But he's dribbling, takes a shot, hits the post. I actually thought it went in, so we start celebrating, but then it didn't come. It bounces out. Someone else tries to get in, and sort of Aubameyang just bundles it in, and that's how the game came. But after that, it was basically a stalemate. After that, Norwich actually could have, if they had a better attack, could have scored before us. That's what I think, anyway.
Was there a vim at all for Arteta during the game?
No, not at all. There was only obviously a couple of decisions that he made where. There's one. I think one of the subs where I had one guy's complain about it, but it wasn't. There was nothing like booing or anything like that. To be honest, which is what I'm saying. There was a positive atmosphere throughout the whole game. But I think if it carried on being 0-0 until about the 85th, I think the crowd would have turned because it was getting a bit frustrating. Where the fact we were getting chances and not scoring. By the way, shout out to I even forget his name sometimes. But who's the right back? What's his name?
Thomas Schuma.
Yeah, him.
Tomiyasu.
You know what? Solid performance. He was really, really trying, to be honest. He's good in the air. Obviously, it's only Norwich. I'm not going to sit here and say that, he's going to be a world beater, but...
He did his thing, yeah?
Yeah, he did his thing. It's obviously his first game, and he only had 2 days of training, so shout out to him. Bro, what the hell?
Screw brother. Prez, obviously, at least some of the usual first teamers started again for Arsenal. So obviously, alluding to what Mick said, they created many chances or shots on goal. At least Angel Gabriel returned. Ramsdale started in goal. Ben White returned. Thomas Partey joined for 30 minutes as well. Do you think that Arsenal will pick it up from there after securing their first win for the season in the league?
I think I watched the highlights in it of the game, and from what I saw, obviously when they brought on their starters, I think Smith Rowe came in, like you said, Partey came in as well later on in the game, and Pepe had a good game as well from what I saw. So, if they can get their key players playing, obviously Saka is a player that you can rely on to put performances in sort of week in, week out. But, players like Smith Rowe, he came on, looked bright, Partey knocking it about well. And obviously Lokonga as well. I don't know what part he'll play long term in the season, but he's looked good as well amongst the bad run that they've had so far. But pick it up if we mean better than what they've shown so far, and start winning games. Then yes, but
Jake said they'll struggle to replicate finishing 8th again this season. Do you co-sign?
So what? But as in, he thinks 2 of 2 potentially, or
basic, yeah.
There's potential for it, innit? I mean, you can't really look and see where they can improve on in comparison to last season points wise. But like I say, if the first couple of games are anything to go by this season, then they have to do better than that, surely.
Shalom. Obviously, this season there's plenty of in terms of transfers, there's been plenty of movement, so therefore plenty of agenda topics. Obviously, we started well with Ben White. Chat to me. How was he against Norwich?
It was good. I think that he was assured, played out from the back. Essentially, what we brought him to do, he delivered. With Ben White, you have to give him time in respect to what we feel he isn't good at, which is winning headers, being dominant in the air. I feel Ben White is kind of similar to John Stones when City bought him. You have to give him time, and I think in time we would tell whether it was a good signing and it's worth the 50 million. But obviously we know that he isn't a 50 million player, but that's what we had to pay for him.
Shalom, do you reckon he's almost a secondary centre-back rather than a main centre-back, if that makes sense? Because that's what Stonesy is. Yeah, that's what Stonesy is a secondary centre-back. So's Varane, technically. So do you see almost you need another centre-back to pair up with White, who's an aggressive one, or is...
I think it's kind of like a yin and yang type of thing, because Gabriel is the aggressive defender. White is more of the assured, plays from the back, stylistically looks good. So in regards to being a secondary defender, I'm not sure. You don't pay that much for that defender, but I guess you do if you look at what Stones was acquired for. I don't know, but I think Arsenal looked at him. They wanted him, seeing as Luis left, and Luis had the same skill that White does, which is playing out from the back, given that passing, and that's why we got him. So I honestly,
the same passing tech as Luis though.
He can pass from defense, and there's very rare defenders that can do that currently in the game. So that hence why we bought him. So, like I said in the last pod, we have to give this signings time before we can, corn or say Arsenal haven't got it right.
All right, say no more. Tabs, obviously no European football for you guys, so you have a whole week to prepare against fellow bottom of the table struggler Burnley. Away, actually. How do you see your chances in this game?
Tough game, man. Not gonna lie to you. Not confident. After the game, I was just having a chat with all the Arsenal fans, like how they felt. And really and truly, obviously, everyone was happy to get over the line against Norwich. But, bro, I don't know, man. It's a worrying stage for the club right now. Like, when you leave the game and you're like, just like, yeah, that if we're playing another like top side, any top side, doesn't matter who, we're getting battered, man. And I feel like that's just down to, I don't want to single them out, but I think it's getting evident now that it won't be long, man. Because
before Arteta out,
I just don't think he can. What he wants to, he's just not getting his point across.
He don't have the players for his vision.
It's not even that though. It's not that.
Didn't Edu and him come out the other day with like this interview talking about
Edu came out.
Long-term things.
Would he do that if he didn't see Arteta as part of the project?
But this is the thing that it becomes like it becomes about our reaction towards, and that's what Mitchell was saying, that he was surprised when we went into the stadium and everyone was like, optimistic and whatever. It's almost like they gave the team another second chance.
You know what though? Looking at that team, I honestly think it comes down to confidence, because I think that team can definitely compete.
Yeah, it's a decent team.
Like compete at what level though? Like
we said, top six before. We said
top six.
I think the problem that we've got as a club at the moment is, as we done before, we create chances for the first time ever, 30 shots for the first time since 2018. So obviously that's an improvement. He's seen something and he's tried to improve on it. But the other problem we have is we don't score enough goals. So we're creating the chances now, the 30 chances. But you've got players like Aubameyang. Yeah, he's not the same player he was 2 years ago when Wenger first signed him. He's not that player. Lacazette, again, he's not going to get you that many goals. Pepe is a menacing player when he wants to be. But again, he's not going to score you 15 plus goals. Saka, he's 20 years old. You're not relying on him to score 15 plus goals. We don't have any midfielders that score goals. And that's where the problem is, I think.
I agree.
That goals for midfield is where it's completely off. The wingers don't score enough. The midfielders don't score enough. So they don't support the strikers enough. I think we should have. That's the positions where we should have thought about doing a lot more into anyway. Because you see sometimes that I see Smith Rowe get into certain positions. His first thought is always pass.
Yeah, like
Odegaard,
yesterday,
first,
2 chances.
two chances. Odegaard, first thought, pass. He doesn't. There's no thought of let me just hit it. I remember when Ramsey was at the club, he wasn't the best technically, but however, he would get into positions
Brass
where
it from anywhere, innit?
Yeah, just hit it, and then he will score. He will score goals.
Oh, come on, guys.
Hey, Mitch,
that's
Mitch,
a
do you
little
not
bit.
think though, yeah? You know, obviously selling Joe Willock, I know a lot of man didn't like him, but towards the back end of the last season, he was looking like that goal scoring midfielder.
Yeah.
Do you not think you kind of wish you kept him just for that?
You don't see the nonsense he did.
If you look back on what I used to say about, if you look back what I used to say about Willock, I said Willock is a player that needs to play some more, and if he plays, he will score because he is a goal scoring midfielder. I don't know if he's good enough for what we want to achieve as a club. We want to be in the top 6, top 4, and I don't think he's that player. I don't think he will be that player anyway, or start or become that player. So that's where the problem lies. And he wanted to play, and he weren't going to play.
For me, if there's anyone we need to act really strongly, it's Pepe, because the rest I can give him time. I can give Saka time. I can give Emil time. Even to a point.
Pepe had a good game.
No. Because Pepe, before, when we bought him, he was scoring goals, right? Weren't he? And someone will say, yeah, he was playing as a centre forward, but regardless, he's a goal scorer. He needs to chip in more goals.
Shalom, what I actually got to say to you about this is that Pepe is one of the most frustrating players at the club. One of the most frustrating players. However, he's our best attacking threat going forward. He's the only player that the defenders don't know what he's going to do. Whereas you've got players like Aubameyang, he's quite predictable. Saka, quite predictable in what he's going to do. Obviously, there's certain times when Saka does something special. But Pepe is... I said earlier, he's like the opposite to Mane, right?
Yeah.
So whereas Mane, he's going to go at the defender every time, and the right back's going to have it. The right back's going to have enough. However, Pepe won't go at the left back all the time. He will have a moment where he does something, and then a goal comes out of it, which is what happened yesterday. He was the reason why we scored that goal.
Drew and Kenner. Sorry, Amit. Drew and Kenner. Salah, you know exactly what he's going to do. He scores. Why can't Pepe do that?
Because Pepe just longs it all the time. like, did you see his 3 bad touches yesterday? Honestly, I could have bottled him. Honestly.
But that's the thing I told you about Pepe, man. Pepe's also pretty much a running behind type of striker.
Yeah.
Like,
that's not his
behind.
game. It's not his game.
So the dribble, pass, and taking his man onto the line.
But we've seen him do it.
But he doesn't. But that's not his game. He doesn't do it often. He doesn't. That's not his bag. His bag is like slip it through, I'll run it behind and slow it in.
Bro, this guy will run behind and bring it back to dribble the same guy and then take it back and then dribble back. Come on, man. He doesn't do that.
Maybe his wife is in the stands in there. I don't know.